What up, it's your boy Dvrth at it again with another video. Today we are here with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood episode 49. Last episode we ended off with pride consuming gluttony and basically getting a power up. I thought that the fight was hard enough. We were looking like we were winning, but yeah, the fight just got harder. We do have Hohenheim in the background. I don't know if he'll play a role in this fight, but we do have Hohenheim in the background. I think he's tending to Al right now. Hopefully, maybe, I'm not sure, he will join the fight and help out, because we could use the help if if this is supposed to get as bad as it's looking like it should get. So we'll see. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood or something totally different, the best place to net in is always my social media. Link's going to be in the description below. If you want these episodes early, subscribe to my Patreon. Link's going to be in the description below for that as well. So with all that being said, let's get our headphones. Make sure they're on. Them bitches is on, and let's just get into it. I just realized how much I'm gonna miss this OP when it changes, because I feel like it's gonna change pretty soon, and when it does, I'm gonna be kind of sad.
Wake up, Alphonse!
Is it that easy?
I know that smell. Tell me,
Yeah, the
something,
goat.
Edward.
Well, shit. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that was a hard. Oh yeah, he's way. Ooh, he's way worse now. Fuck. Be that. Fuck. Yeah, he's way worse. Fuck. Ooh, fuck. Oh, good save, Longfire. Holy fuck. Oh shit. Okay. Jesus Christ.
It was like he was manipulating my soul. I feel violated.
Oh.
The homunculi are basically your relatives. They're like second-generation clones of me.
Oh, right. That does make sense. The homunculi are technically like their cousins.
Powering us. Greed and Edward are doing everything they can.
Shh, we need help. We need help.
This is all my fault.
Oh,
None of
whoa.
this would have happened
No.
if I hadn't let pride catch me.
No.
You're a pretty brilliant alchemist, right?
I guess I know a thing or two.
Oh, you're a fucking
I've
human.
got an idea. but
You're
I'm
a
gonna need your
human,
help to pull it off.
fucking philosopher's stone.
This isn't really the time to worry about others, is it, Greed? As soft as you've become, I wonder how much longer you can survive.
Has he become soft, human, or stronger? Yeah, pussy. Big
So you've
23.
chosen to show yourself. Hohenheim?
Big hoe.
Hero always waits until the last second to make his move.
That's facts.
Hero.
Naruto said that.
Interesting. You must think you can defeat me.
No, I'd never think that. I'm not dumb enough to try and fight you.
But you know I'm that nigga, right?
What could he possibly be thinking?
But you know I'm that nigga,
Must be
right?
plotting something. Here he comes.
Pussy ass nigga, you know what I'm about? Oh.
Are you joking? This was your pathetic plan?
Try a double
You
snare,
should've
buddy.
run when you had the chance.
An anime
Seems as though your
move
son enjoys being
as old as
outdone.
time.
It's either that or he's supremely stupid.
Don't ever mock my son.
Not my boy. Not my boy. Oh my god. Ooh, bro. Gotcha, dumbass. Double fucking snare. Oh, he a cold piece. He's a cold piece. Who got hands?
I'll slice you into little pieces.
Who got
I
hands?
don't remember saying anything about leaving. Let's have a little test of endurance, Salim. Oh, sorry. Would you prefer to be called Pride? My body doesn't need oxygen or light or food. I'm perfectly comfortable right here until the promised day is over. and I'm gonna make sure that you stay put no matter
Yo.
what.
Oh.
Could have at least told me what you were.
Your brother told me not to. He said that you'd be against it, okay?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good call by Al.
Al came up
Risky,
with this plan
but
because
a
it was
really
the
good
only way
call.
to make sure everyone would survive. Try to understand.
Hey, Greed! What the hell are you planning?
I'm pulling up
I've told you.
to the
I'm
residence.
planning on ruling the entire world.
Oh, well, we can't let you do that. We can't let you do that. Sorry, buddy. We can't let you do that.
You know, the one that always carried that cat around with her.
Oh,
Here again, just
oh shit! Right, they don't know.
What?
They don't know that she went back.
Back to Shing after all. What would never lower themselves to such cowardice? They're your allies, and this country will soon see them as heroes, not terrorists.
Let's go. Gotta respect that, but I know who the fuck is on that bullshit. Oh my god.
And somewhere when it comes to my job,
I know who is on that bullshit.
and the fun isn't even scheduled to start until the sun's up.
You just make a fucking mockery of killing niggas.
It's not that hard to surprise you when you think so little of us humans.
Exactly.
You think
See,
you've got us all figured out, but you don't know a thing about us.
you dumb fuck.
Arrogant to see that things might not go your way. The whole thing hinged on us doing what you wanted.
That's what it seems
But what
like.
if we had simply decided to run away to a different country?
Hell, what if
That's all
we
it
decide to
would've
kill
taken and your
ourselves?
entire plan
Now you're
falling
fucked.
apart.
Just look at Rath's wife.
See?
There was a time when we took a trip to the city and I was almost run over by a car. The car swerved, of course, but not before she risked her life trying to shield me with her body. I have never had what you would call a mother. I was quite intrigued by her and how she cared for me. And I realized what it was like to have a mother.
Then why the fuck are you the way you
When you
are?
say,
But I also can't deny that my time spent with her has been pleasant. I quite liked it.
but then
As I was saying,
Right. So why would you?
there are a handful of humans like Rath's wife. They're willing to give up their own
Yeah,
lives
there
in
aren't a
order
lot of
to
people like
protect
that.
the
That's
things they
fair.
care
Okay.
about. You never would have fled and abandoned this country.
Right.
In fact, you even went so far as to bring the fight to us.
Mm.
So explain to me again, how were our plans so sloppy?
Okay, fair point. They basically knew that the will of the human spirit would absolutely come through.
We should start getting ready.
Right.
Gotta tell Maze Hughes that we about to do it for him.
No way, of course not. As soon as we start trusting you, you'll kill us. I would never do
God
that.
damn it.
I'm not falling for it. I bet Heidel's hiding around here somewhere, just waiting for
Michael
a
is
chance to
around,
ambush
but
us.
You're
Dr.
paranoid,
Marco!
you idiot. You're the idiot. All too obvious that Kimberly considered us to be expendable. That's the truth. We may be considered
Tough.
fugitives now, but you know what? I've got no complaints.
Same here. And no matter what, I know for a fact that these guys would never abandon us.
nah, those are real ones.
That's up to us.
Mmm. You see, I got that bitch on me. Woo-woo, so-woo.
The sun has risen. The promised day's begun.
Mmm. Let's go. You see my dog Pyru'd out for the final fight.
The only one we need alive is Roy Mustang.
Ooh.
Fuhrer's wife is expendable.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think
Take her along with
some
us.
tells me that the Fuhrer wouldn't like that.
The only one we need alive is Mustang. Kill the rest.
Oh fuck! Got me fucked up. Got me fucked up. Got me fucked up. Got me fucked up out this world, bruh. Got me fucked up out this world, bruh. Okay. Well, shit. I didn't know that they was. Ooh, bitch. Goddamn. I didn't know they was gonna be on them that quickly. That was tough. Okay. Okay. So finally wrapped up the fight with Pride. Yeah, he was going hard. I ain't about to lie to you. Pride was going hard. Really, really difficult really difficult fight, and you know, I knew that Hohenheim had to join in at some point, mostly because, as well as, or I was about to say Alphonse, Edward was doing in the fight. You know, he wasn't sustaining any like major injuries or anything like that. I knew the only person that could like really get it done was going to be Hohenheim, but moreover, the person that came up with the plan being Alphonse, to actually have the guts to like the guts and just like the courage to be like, yo, let me like throw myself into the front lines and then just trap me in there with him, which is you know, it's smart as fuck. One, it's smart as fuck, right? The double snare is almost a trope of anime, that the first attack is never the true attack. There's always a second and or third, and if you feeling spicy, there's a fourth, and that's the finisher. But what it did for us is have it to where, something that I always like in shows, there's always an enemy that is basically overpowered. And this is where what a lot of people like to call talk no jutsu comes in, right? When you have an enemy that's overpowered, usually you would have to find a way to talk to that person in order to feel out that person, and then maybe either convert him or have them give up on like their original plan. Over here, I don't expect to like convert Pride or anything like that, mostly because one, his name's Pride. He's not gonna be like, oh, I see the error of my ways. However, Pride is smart enough to admit to some things. The first thing being that it wasn't all bad having a mother. And here the thing is that we always talk about one of the things that makes people strong is being human. And while we didn't get a huge, you know, reveal like, oh yeah, I absolutely love my mom, you know, from Pride or anything like that, we did get the reveal of that he does enjoy the fact that his mom exists. He does find it interesting. You know what I'm saying? So who's to say that the reason why Pride is so strong is that he hasn't internalized some of that that humanization that we talked about with Greed. Now, not to the extent of Greed and not to the extent of a lot of other characters, but a little minute section of him is like, yeah, you know, I really care about my mom, and that minute section of him may be where not a lot, but a bit of his power comes from. But that's besides the point. That's just me with a headcanon that may or may not be true. The more interesting part of that is that Alphonse says that their party, their side, the problem with their plans is that they underestimate humans. And I think that has been the theme of the show almost, is that these homunculi underestimate the will and the power of humans. I think that theme was wrapped up really nicely and continues, but wrapped up really nicely in the flashback episode, the recap episode, where the wife says that humans are strong because they die and they hurt and stuff like that. So for Alphonse to be like, you got us all wrong. You thought that we were weak. And it's because that we're weak is why we're strong. You thought that we wouldn't rise above. You thought so little of us that when push came to shove, you didn't think that we could follow through. What if we just decided not to go along with your scheme? And to be completely fair to Pride, he makes a great point. We actually did. We did think it through. That maybe it might not be that it might not be a we thought it through. It might be a we knew better. We know you. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the ideas that the homunculi go off of, it has an air of we know you kind of feel to it, where envy is like, yeah, you guys always just kill each other, and you guys are so like toxic to each other. You're horrible people. You know, with lust, always think that everybody gives in to their urges, you know, and she's so confident about, you know, seducing people because she feels like humans are weak enough to you know, fall to their urges, and that's where, you know, that's where her downfall was. And for Pride and Father, you know, them knowing that humans continue, that humans advance and humans move forward, they knew that the heroes, per se, you know, the heroes of this story would eventually come to them, using that human trait against them, which is honestly what they should have been doing. It's what the homunculi should have been doing. It's what they apparently have been doing. It's the best option, is that we know that you all are always going to come and help. So as long as we start trouble, there will always be people like you to run to the aid of somebody, and then right into the palm of us. Now the thing is that even though that is a very smart way of thinking of it, it is still short-sighted in the potential of humans. It's still shortchanging the human will and the strength of humans, because yes, you may lead. It's like me being like, oh yeah, bro, I'm so smart, I could lead this fucking tiger to this trap, and he's gonna be fucked as soon as I get that tiger. And as soon as I trap the tiger, I go in there and try to box it, thinking that I'm gonna win the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I was smart enough to know that the instincts of the tiger was to go over to the trap that I laid because it has meat or something on it, and now my thought is, okay, now it's time for me to go box it, which is basically the thought process of the homunculi right now. Is that yes, they thought ahead far enough to trap and to get the humans where they needed to be, or at least the POIs where they needed to be, but they're still conceited enough, and still what's the word, overconfident enough to believe that when they do trap the humans, when they do bring the humans to where they need to be, that they wouldn't be strong enough to fight back, which in the end will prove Alphonse right, that you underestimated us. It's a great theme for the show, because it's not something that is like, you know, solely expressed all the time. It's not like a anime sometimes have these themes that I call the I must get stronger themes, where it'll have something that's very blatant, which is why I call it the I must get stronger themes. It's something that a lot of anime characters say all the time, where it's like, oh, that the idea is that I gotta get stronger, the idea is that I gotta do this, or I gotta become Hokage or something like that. Where with Fullmetal Alchemist, the theme is that you underestimated me. And it's not something where people keep saying it, but it's that people keep teaching lessons in which the homunculi aren't exactly learning, that you underestimated me, which is why I love that that theme of the show so much, is that, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're underestimating the power and the drive of a human. It's just it's good. It's a really good way of telling our story here, and plus it just fits in our story. Love that I was about to call him Eric. Edward was, you know, initially really mad at Hohenheim, where he was like, how could you let him do that? You know, Al's in there with that monster now. What are you doing? And Hohenheim's like, no, Al came up with that, and I trusted him enough to execute. So for Edward, he now is seeing, we've ever since they met, in the recent episode, ever since they reunited, I should say, in the recent episodes, we've seen Edward be very critical of his dad and very nonchalant and aloof when it came to his dad, because he doesn't really want to see, in his words, he wasn't what he thought he would be. He's a decent person that's going through some fucked up shit. So when it comes to a situation like this, where Edward is the first one to lash out and be like, how could you do that, blah blah blah, and be so mad at him, only for his dad to say, no, I trusted him to get it done. It shows that Edward himself did not trust Al. Or at least, maybe I should say, Edward was more scared for Al's well-being than he was trusting of Al's competence. So with him lashing out immediately and saying, you know, how could you do this? And Hohenheim telling him, no, I trusted him. It paints Hohenheim in a more, not just human, but a more fatherly light than Edward was expecting to get from Hohenheim. I can't blame Edward for being, you know, kind of moody when it comes to stuff like that, because, you know, we talked about it before, but it is a good lesson to learn. It's a good way to move forward now, because now Edward's going to have to accept his father a little bit more, and I think that's good for Ed. I think that it's a good way to heal, and it's a good way for Ed himself to get stronger, because, you know, Ed's already human. And when the thing about already being human is, how do you get stronger, is that you gotta heal a little bit first. You can't have that hatred for your father on your heart. And that's why when scenes like this happen, I get a little excited, because that to me, in a story like this, is a sign of our character getting stronger. It's not, when it comes to this show, it's not the training that makes you stronger or anything like that. It's the and we talked about this so many times that I won't like retread it, but it's the closer that you get to being human, and the better of a person you become, as cheesy as that sounds, is what makes you as strong. We see this with Hohenheim, where he just loved his family so much that he ended up leaving. He was hurt. That man was hurt. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's also because, I mean, obviously, you know, if we're talking outside of like just, you know, sentimental stuff and also, you know, all the theories and stuff, it's also just because he is a human Philosopher's Stone. But that's more, you know, that's neither here or there when we're talking about, when we're on this subject. But Kimblee's back. Fucking hate Kimblee. He already killed all the Ishvalans, so that guy's a bitch. Absolute fucking cockmaster. Hate that guy. We finally got all of our people together. I do hope that we can get more conversation between Alphonse and Pride, because I want to know more about how Pride feels about living. Because the thing is that in this war of attrition that Pride and Alphonse are in, or Alphonse are taking part in, is it's built on the idea that Al does not have a human body and may be less human in the physical sense, and Pride having a human body, being more human in the physical sense, but their ideologies clashing on like what, you know, what, how could you underestimate humans? We didn't, you know. And it's a thing where, while Pride is being questioned on his humanity is also failing him, because as Alphonse says, I don't need air or food or oxygen or all, you know, he doesn't need all that. You do. I want to see if you do. So in a way, for me at least, in a way, if Pride, I do want to get more conversations with Alphonse and Pride, but in a way, for me, there is, if Pride is to somehow give up on this war of attrition because his body's failing him, because he doesn't have oxygen or something like that, it's almost him conceding that he is human, and by by extension, getting rid of some of that pride and becoming a little bit more human by conceding, yes, I am human just like you and your brother and blah blah blah. Maybe I am a homunculus, of course he's a homunculus, but as far as what his body is, and you know how we're going with the homunculus, it's a different kind of story for them. But you know, giving up on this war of attrition would basically be him accepting at least a piece of his humanity, and becoming a little bit more understanding. So hopefully we see more of that. This however was a great episode. We don't have many left. I mean, we're about to hit 50. I think there is 64. Honestly, I'm gonna start just marathoning this, because like, since we're at the end, I'm hyped to see how it does end, because that's one thing that I haven't really gave much thought to Fullmetal Alchemist, because a lot of this show isn't really predicated on how it ends. For me at least, it's not really predicated on how it ends. It's more predicated on I don't want to say like the friends that we made along the way, because that's not it, but it's more or less predicated on the knowledge that we gain, in the knowledge of whether we should have gained that knowledge, which would be what the end would mean for me. So interested in seeing what happens is basically what I'm saying. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, all the other stuff. If you're just a lurker, I appreciate you too. If you have any requests, whether it be more Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood or something totally different, the best place to that in, as long as my social media link's going to be in the description below. And if you want these episodes early, subscribe to my Patreon. Link's going to be in the description below for that as well. So with all that being said, let me get my off button ready. There it is. You all stay amazing, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.